Spiritual emptiness is a universal disease. I think inside that at some point we put our heads down on the pillow and we go, there's got to be more to life than this. Get up in the morning, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed. Get up in the morning, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed. Go to parties on weekends. A lot of people say, I'm living. No, you're not living. That's just existing. I believe that you're not an accident. Your parents may not have planned you, but I believe God did. And I think you matter. I think you matter to God. I think you matter to history. I think you matter to this universe. And I think that the difference between what I call the survival level of living, the success level of living, and the significance level of living is, do you figure out what on earth am I here for? It's not about you. So what is it for? See, I believe essentially leadership is stewardship. That if you are a leader in any area, in business, in politics, in sports, in art, in academics, in any area, you don't own it. You are a steward of it. And so you need to understand what your world is, the worldview is. The problem is most people never really think it through. They never really codify it or qualify it or quantify it and say, this is what I believe and this is why I believe what I believe. Your worldview, though, does determine everything else in your life because it determines your decisions, it determines your relationships, it determines your level of confidence, it determines really everything in your life. What we believe, obviously, and you know this, determines our behavior, and our behavior determines what we become in life. You know, the test of your worldview is not how you act in the good times. The test of your worldview is how you act at the funeral. Because every time I give, it breaks the grip of materialism in my life. And we think that the good life is actually looking good. That's most important of all. Looking good, feeling good, and having the goods. But that's not the good life. It's just not true. So the good life is not about looking good, feeling good, or having the goods. It's about being good and doing good. Giving your life away. Significance in life doesn't come from status. It comes from serving. It is in giving our lives away we find meaning, we find significance. It is that the purpose of influence is to speak up for those who have no influence. Number one, God never does a miracle to show off. Second thing is, if God ever asks you a question, He already knows the answer. When He asks the question, it's for your benefit, not His. So what are you going to do with what you've been given? Is to say, what's in your hand? What do you have that you've been given? Talent, background, education, freedom, networks, opportunities, wealth, ideas, creativity. What are you doing with what you've been given? That to me is the primary question about life. That to me is what being purpose-driven is all about. I talk about how you're wired to do certain things. You're shaped with little acrostic, spiritual gifts, heart, ability, personality, and experiences. These things shape you. And if you want to know what you ought to be doing with your life, you need to look at your shape. What am I wired to do? Did you know that God smiles when you be you? Some people have the misguided idea that God only gets excited when you're doing, quote, a spiritual thing. The bottom line is God gets pleasure watching you be you. Why? He made you. So my advice to you is look at what's in your hand, your identity, your influence, your income, and say, it's not about me. It's about making the world a better place. Spiritual